Media.
Through the media.
Well, prepare yourself, guys. Chris, we're talking through the medias. I'm gonna do a. I guess this is a reaction. I'm putting the spotlight really on the news that's been going on. You guys, look, this is live. I said once we hit 5,000K, I was gonna start doing more live streaming. Let me scoot off for a second, guys, and just try to just talk with you guys on what's been going on. And this, to me, is the perfect thing to start with. As you can see, I'm already decked out and fresh about this one. So let me just let me set up what I need to set up real quick. Now, here's what they're saying in the Hollywood Reporter about what's going on with the Spider-Man getting Jamie Foxx to come back. So it says right here, how's that for shocking news? The next Spider-Man movie is getting a major joke. Jamie Foxx, who played the classic Spider-Man villain Electro, and Andrew Garfield starring The Amazing Spider-Man 2, is in final talks to reprise the role for the latest Spider-Man installment starring Tom Holland and being made by Marvel Studios and Sony. I wonder why they put Marvel first before Sony, because I read something else that Marvel was taking an even bigger lead in these next couple of Spider-Man movies. So maybe that's why they said Marvel first, then Spider-Man. I know overall, if it's Spider-Man, it's produced by Sony. But Kevin Feige is like, this is what we're going to do. And Sony's like, okay. John Watts, the filmmaker behind Homecoming and last year's Spider-Man Far From Home, is in the director's chair for the third installment, which Sony has dated for November 5th, 2021. Did I get it backwards? Although moviegoers have come to expect release dates to change amid the pandemic, which is true, most of the supporting cast from the previous movies, including Zendaya, Marissa Tomei, Jacob Batalon, and Tony Valori, are expected to be on the call sheet when cameras roll in Atlanta this fall. Kevin Feige and Amy Pascal are producing. Marvel had no comment. Story details are being kept under mask, but having Fox return is a stunner as it shows a further melding of the Spider-Man movies into current Holland series, which is for one that Marvel has running point on production. Far From Home began that idea by bringing back J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson, the character he played in Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man trilogy, and moved that tickled audiences to glee. Everybody freaked out and lost their mind when that happened. So if you're opening up a door to The Amazing Spider-Man, can you open the door to Tobey Maguire? Maybe, but I would keep it to villains. The ones who like disappeared, really. Sandman, maybe. I mean, as an ally. When he faded away. When the snap happens, what happened to these multiverses? Maybe. When Doc Ock went into the water and was about to get drowned. Maybe he got dusted. Maybe the multiverse of madness is going to pluck him out of there. Will he be an ally? Will he be? I mean, who knows what the possibilities could be? It wouldn't make any damn sense. I know that. It would be freaking crazy. But, I mean, it could be fun. To me, it all depends on. Hold on. Let me look this up real quick, guys. Verse of Madness. It says the Multiverse of Madness. Doctor Strange was a 2020 film. 2020. The film is currently scheduled to hit theaters March 2022. That throws my whole theory off now. Spider-Man is scheduled has been dated for November 2021. Unless Doctor Strange is going to clean this up. If Spider-Man comes out before Doctor Strange, I don't see the sense on any of this. I don't see how you can make it make sense. You got Sam Raimi directing. It could be so much fun calling it the multiverse of madness and having Wanda in there as a possible antagonist, the villain, it could open up so much opportunities. But if it's coming out before Spider-Man, that means they're gonna have to clean it up and make it make sense on like Disney Plus or something, man. This is it just it doesn't make it's not gonna make sense to me. So let's see. Story details are being kept in the mail. Blah, blah, blah. Far From Home began that idea about Fox played Electro in 2014, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which starred Garfield as Spider-Man. The film failed to impress critics and underperformed in the box office over $700 million globally. Those muted box office returns, along with 2014 Sony hack, paved the way for Sony to do the unthinkable and strike a deal with Marvel Studios to share the character, leading to Holland starring as the web slinger in the Avengers movies, and Marvel talent such as Robert Downey Jr. appearing in the Sony solo Spider-Man film. Despite the performance of Amazing Spider-Man 2, Fox remains one of the most in-demand players in Hollywood. That's one reason why. And his character is certain to jazz up excitement among fans. Maybe. People were not that excited about Electro. They didn't like the fact that if I would, okay, let's speculate what Marvel can do with it. And here's why I kind of like the idea. Out of all the characters that the Sony movies made, from the Amazing Spider-Man, from between the Lizard to the Goblin to Jamie Foxx, the Rhino. Jamie Foxx and his Electro character are the only ones that fit physically, and as far as like making sense, would fit in the MCU. It just, I couldn't see the Lizard. And that version of the Lizard in the MCU. I can't see that Rhino in the MCU. I couldn't see that Goblin in the MCU. But Jamie Foxx, the way he looked, the way his skin glowed, the way he was designed, you could see that. I could see that in the MCU as a major player. That's the only reason why I like it. I could see. And people were asking on Twitter, what other characters from other Spider-Man movies would you want? Let me click over real quick to Screen Rant. What other villains would you want to see? People were like the Green Goblin from Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, Sandman, Venom, and things like that. Like, no. The only one who would fit would be Doc Ock. I think he would fit in the MCU, but is he too old to play the character now? That's the question. Like, Jamie Foxx can do it, and he can still do it. I would like that. Now, if it was the same Doc Ock from Tobey Maguire's universe, like this whole the multiverse of madness thing fixes it all. It could make it make sense. If Spider-Man comes out before the multiverse of madness, I don't see how it makes sense. I don't see how they're going to explain this away. From Screen Rant real quick, and then I'm gonna probably look into Twitter stuff. What an MCU comic accurate Jamie Foxx Electro could look like. Like, no, they wouldn't. Like, look at that picture. They wouldn't do that. I don't think Marvel would do that. I don't think Marvel would change much. If anything, my theory is he would be all electricity, no clothes. They go with that. I don't know why Sony didn't do that in the first place. Having him wear an outfit made no sense at all. But giving him like that suit, like that yellow and whatnot, no. You might as well give him that stupid electric mask. I don't think he needs to be suited up in anything. And just be a guy who can just, no. I like the whole blue face and pure energy look. Yeah, he was Electric Six. He was straight up comic relief. Yeah, in that movie. But we're talking about the MCU. Because look at you can't deny Jamie Foxx's, and what he said was he was too much of a comic relief. his personality was superficial with little depth. Yeah, and so when Sony was running the show, well, you got to remember what they did. They were nitpicking and trying to force Amazing Spider-Man 2 that movie was a complete departure of the Amazing Spider-Man 1. It was almost like what coming from Batman Returns to the Batman and Robin and Batman Forever movies. It was like a complete 180. And it was a bunch of infighting and a bunch of nitpicking, and Kevin Feige doesn't play that. And Sony doesn't. And since the Sony MCU deal, Sony's not in the game to do that anymore. They realized they made that mistake when they started doing that to Webb's version of the movie. So you don't have to worry about that with the MCU because Kevin Feige don't play. Sony's going to be like, well, why don't you do this? And Kevin Feige going to say, well, why don't you sit down? Because we making over $20 billion over here. Wait, and you finally made $1 billion for the first time because we helped you. So Sony's not going to do that. Sony's not going to whatever. If Kevin Feige likes that Electro character and wants to bring him into the MCU, he's going to have it written in a specific way that fits what he wants. Maybe it'll be the exact same character. Maybe he'll just be a different version of Electro, but just played by the same actor. If he's the exact same Electro from the Amazing Spider-Man 1, he's like, you're not Spider-Man. Why are you a little bit shorter? You look different. Your suit's different. Your voice is different. You're not Andrew Garfield. He will still, the way the movie is written and directed would still have to fit with Feige's master plan. And if that goofy personality of superficial with little depth is what Kevin Feige wants, then it's probably because it's going to make sense for whatever they're doing in the movie. If it's not, he'll change it. My another prediction that I might have on this one is that maybe he's not the exact same Electro. Just like it wasn't the same exact J. Jonah Jameson. Maybe it's just Electro, but he's like, but Jamie Foxx. It worked with this could all be a nothing burger. It could be nothing. It worked with J. Jonah Jameson. Just get the same actor. He's not really the same J. Jonah Jameson. He's bald now. He's not really that Electro, but they probably might put him in the suit. The suit thing and whatnot that makes sense for the MCU. I just don't like it. The pure energy thing is what they should do. I understand that actors like to show their face, but that's just how I feel. If they decide to do this with the suit, with the yellow and everything, even though his power's in the song, then I would be convinced that this is a completely different Electro who is activated for the first time, just happens to be played by the same character. And that's a possibility. That might be exactly what we're looking at here. But I'm hoping that the Multiverse of Madness has something to do with it, unless Spider-Man comes out before that. And if not, my other theory is it'll be somehow woven into it or explained away by the Into the Spider-Verse thing. This is only if Jamie Foxx is playing the exact same character from The Amazing Spider-Man who got thrown into this new universe with a new Spider-Man. But there goes the question right there. Is this the same Electro from Amazing Spider-Man 2? Or is this just we're introducing Electro and Kevin Feige is like, I like Jamie Foxx. I want to work with Jamie Foxx. Let's bring him in. It works with J. Jonah. Why not this character? That's the question. And I guess I'll put that on the in the community tab, and we'll talk about that on We Got Your Mail. That's the ultimate question. Now I went through this whole thing mostly talking about my theories and how it could work or how I would like to see it work, but ultimately it's probably that. It's probably and I'm gonna be so mad. Amazing Spider-Man 2 wasn't that long ago. I don't need to see Jamie Foxx go through it again, get electrocuted, and become Electro. We don't need to see that. And this whole multiverse of madness thing, they didn't have to do it with the Incredible Hulk and retell his story again. They just showed some quick little flashes and went through it with Ed Norton's Hulk. We didn't have to see Peter Parker get bitten by the spider. We've seen it before. If Jamie Foxx is coming in, I'm kind of hoping it's the exact same Jamie Foxx. I mean, the exact same Electro from The Amazing Spider-Man, where he's like, he blew up and he zapped himself into a whole different dimension. Maybe it might not have anything to do with the multiverse of madness. Maybe it was just his powers. He took himself into another universe where and he doesn't know how he did it. He can't get back home. And who's to say if he did it again the exact same way, he would be thrown into a whole different universe. So he probably just leaves it alone and just becomes he might become the Flash. What they're doing with the Flash and DCEU, he might be the one character that can zip through all these dimensions and without magic. We don't know. He might be the only character that can make the trip. So, and it makes sense. I mean, with the Flash with electricity, that's probably what they if you don't want to be big blue, you want him to be yellow. Oh man, that's the I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. If he was yellow, I would be upset. I'd still watch it. If he was yellow, if he looks like the way this picture is showing right here, then I'm convinced that they're going to have Jamie Foxx go through the whole motion again. Or maybe they'll just show him and he's already Electro and I'm not the same Electro from the other. I'm hoping that will be the indicator. If he's blue, he's probably the same Electro. If he's regular and regular dude like in the comic books and just a guy with electric powers, he's no way connected to Andrew Garfield, and this was all or nothing burger. Just like the way with J. Jonah Jameson. It's just hiring the same guy to just play the same character, and we're pretending like the other. But everybody has been asking for it. Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, ever since Into the Spider-Verse was a hit and there's a sequel coming out and there's rumors that there's going to be a little live action in there, just throw it in there. I know Kevin Feige he's a lead quarterback, he's a head coach, and he's going to run his team the way he runs it. So he's not going to be told what to do. Because if he was that kind of a guy that lets the fans tell him what to do, then Wolverine would have been in Endgame. But he's not going to do it. So the odds are that this is nowhere connected to any previous thing. We just like Jamie Foxx. And I know we just wanted to throw him in there. I don't know. I appreciate you talking with me about it, man. Just let me know a little bit more, and we'll talk about it on We Got Your Mail. I'm gonna this was pretty much really, this discussion was really just an experiment on going live again, doing more live stream. Now that we've hit 5K, we're doing more live stream talks. So I'm gonna do more discussions like this. They won't be as lengthy as this one turned out to be. They'll be shorter, and then the main show which is a 30-minute show, will be live. But what happened to the logo? How come the logo is not displaying? But what's going on? I'll fix it later. But just check it out and just stay tuned for that. We're going to do more live shows and have more discussions so we can go back and forth the way me and you did Electric 6. So anything that has anything to do with Electro, you just on top of it. I can already tell by your name. That's funny. But keep up with the channel. Let us know what you think. Okay, if you guys want to support the channel, you can check us out on Twitter, on Facebook, TikTok, since that's still going to be a thing, on Instagram. We also have a Patreon page where we're going to put things that we'll debut them on our Patreon, and then like maybe a week later we'll put them out there on the YouTube channel. So just stay tuned for that. But yeah, live discussions are going to be happening more and more in this channel. So I hope to have conversations like I had with my boy Electric 6 in the future. So in the meantime, guys, if you have any comments, any questions, concerns, put it not in the live chat, put it in the regular chat, or email me. And if you want me to talk about a topic on the main show, send it through email. Or if you just want me to respond to you or a question, just send it through comments or at T3 Medias on our social media, and I'll talk about it on We Got Your Mail. All right, man. It was fun talking with you. Until next time, peace.